There's one more. She's gonna be a few minutes and she's driving back to the. One should be here. I didn't see. Warren is.
Has the money to pay for it. I'm not a liability here.
If he shows up here in the next 5 minutes.
No, he's there. You're here.
Wants to be here. I know I missed one on there, Alex Hutton. In the copy, right? But his inductions certificates there. Just skip over it. Nope, skip over it.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Would you please stand and remove your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Welcome, parents, students, faculty, staff, and administrators to the 2023 induction ceremony of the Pedro Vista High School's chapter of the National Honor Society. We are gathered here to formally induct students who have met the high standards of National Honor Society and were approved by Pedro Vista's faculty and council members as new members of our NHS chapter. For current members and former members who may be among our guests, we hope that this will serve to remind you of the standards of excellence you were charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition organization. Today's ceremony indicates the continuing emphasis on excellence that we represent for our school and community. Throughout the year, members of our chapter serve as role models for other students, in addition to strong academic records, which were established for the eligibility of membership. Our chapter members are leaders in many student organizations and serve our school and community through different activities, such as organizing blood drives, coordinating and working the biannual road cleanup, and volunteering at Riverfest. We are proud of this record and accomplishment, and we would like to welcome new members to bring the new energy and new ideas to our continuing, in support of continuing all of our former NHS members. I would now like to present our school principal, Mr. Kelly Thurr.
Once again, good evening, parents, mentors, and of course, our inductees for our National Honor Society. Tonight, through an induction into one of the most prestigious organizations, you embark on your journey in creating a dynamic path that sets a course for the remainder of your high school careers. Ideally, you are building a foundation that leads to a productive and successful future as leaders. And you might get your names up on one of those banners too. It seems that when we have gatherings such as this, we need a history lesson. I know history lessons are normally reserved for Mr. Dudgeon, so I'll try to make it short so I don't make any mistakes in any dates. Hopefully this lesson will help you understand why you are here tonight. National Honor Society was established in 1921 by the professional organization, the National Association of Secondary School Principals. Your administration team is members of this organization. Though many local and regional honor societies existed at that time, there was no nationwide organization. The NASSP was determined to establish such an organization to acknowledge students and to simultaneously incorporate standards of excellence into such an honor for these societies. From that point, NHS grew quickly to more than 1,000 chapters by 1930 and has now become one of the most known organizations today, with chapters in nearly every high school and junior NHS and many middle schools. The purpose of the National Honor Society is to develop a school's commitment and each individual student's commitment to the core values of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. These became the 4 pillars that have been known and have stood the test of time since 1921. One of the greatest acknowledgments of individual chapters is the contributions that are made to their own communities. The average chapter volunteers over 1,000 hours, donates $26,000 in charitable donations, and brings in 1,000 pounds of food to local, state, and national causes each year, in addition to over 100 pints of blood for those that need it. These contributions, however, do come at a cost. That's your time, that's your effort, and that's your dedication and energy of all members. Tonight, you are well on your way to being part of this productive and relevant organization as you engage in an active outreach for your community. The skills and values you learn through NHS are transferable to your future and are a key in employability that many corporations and companies seek from their employees. These 4 pillars are also the key to a successful PV student. These pillars help each student to grow personally, to learn about community, and achieve success at varying degrees. You'll probably hear about these 4 pillars many times tonight. The first focus is academic excellence or scholarship. Scholarship pillar provides a guideline and tools that, when implemented, provides you with the opportunities for success in school and beyond. You have demonstrated that adherence to scholarship by your achievements in the classroom. The service pillar is exemplified by promoting service in the community. The community you serve not only includes Piedra Vista through trash cleanup days, hosting blood drives, but also by giving your time and energy groups to places such as Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Echo Food Basin, and Special Olympics. This exemplifies what is known as servant leadership. With leadership, you look for ways to continually support others as leaders in all of your commitments, both at school and in the community, through the athletics, through activities, and including various youth groups and organizations in the community as well. And the last pillar, character, is the key to the PV motto and mantra. Once a Panther,
Always a Panther.
how we begin every morning. Do your best, do what's right, treat others the way you want to be treated. That's character through a rudimentary definition, but simply put is this. Character is the things that you do even when no one is watching. And that's the mantra that we speak of every morning. Doing the right thing regardless. I would hope that as dedicated students to these pillars, that these statements have deeper meaning on a personal level for each of you and become unified in your efforts through your National Honor Society membership. This group in front of us this evening are examples of these pillars in what they have accomplished, what they will accomplish, and what they are dedicated to achieve. This is merely a preview of your future selves. I hope that desire to continually learn and grow in these areas never leaves your priorities. Your induction is well-deserved, and I know that you will live up to your potential through this organization. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your integrity. Thank you for your service.
Thank you all for being here. My name is Cody Dudgeon. I am the advisor for the National Honor Society chapter here at Piedra Vista High School. This is my 8th year as a co-advisor or full advisor for the National Honor Society. All the young people in this room have done their best to embody the NHS pillars every day. We're here to recognize that support and the support of their mentors, their parents, their coaches, their friends. They do not make this path their own without the support of those people in their lives that have taught them to dedicate themselves to those 4 pillars. It has been said, a sign of a good leader is not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. I've been honored to mentor and advise the best and brightest minds of Piedra Vista High School student body, and hope that they carry on the legacy of National Honor Society with them as they continue to reach for their goals in school and their lives outside of this institution. I was recently asked by one of our members, why did you choose to become the advisor for NHS? It took me a while thinking about that. My first reaction was because I like to work with the students, and this gave me an extra opportunity to help them learn. But after some reflection, I realized it's much more than that. I became the advisor of National Honor Society because I believe in the high purposes and goals that it instills in its members. As a person, I believe that respect and integrity are valuable throughout your life, academically, scholastically, professionally, and whatever endeavors you choose. The focus on character promotes students' recognition of the importance of personal accountability, as well as honesty. I am actively involved in the Farmington community myself. I serve on the River H Foundation board, as well as I own a business here in town, Desert River Guides. Through both of those organizations, I look to young people to support both my business as raft guides and as volunteers for River Reach Foundation at the annual River Fest, as well as other organized events that we put on. These students from National Honor Society serve as a way to engage in these civic organizations. The National Honor Society's dedication to leadership prepares students to take on these important roles in their personal as well as their private lives and their work lives. As an educator, I believe that learning is a fundamental goal for everyone throughout the human experience. And this dedicates us all to sharing knowledge and being a benefit to those around us. The standard of scholastic achievement, as well as service, character, leadership, they make a big difference in the lives of all the people of your community, as well as in your own life and the lives of your friends. Continue with this commitment. This evening, we're inducting you into the Piedra Vista chapter of the National Honor Society. Admission into NHS is an extraordinary accomplishment. The GPA required just to be invited is very high. And those of you that have chosen to join us have shown that you are willing and able to take on a challenge. This is not only a rite of passage for our new members, but also for our veteran members. This is a time to recommit to those 4 pillars. So what does it mean to be a member of the National Honor Society? We know at a minimum that it means to maintain the excellent GPA that you have all achieved. And while we as a society place a strong emphasis on academic performance, we also know that the world is filled with many smart people who do not always demonstrate the morals and ethics that are the very core of what it means to be a member of the National Honor Society. The society is built on those 4 pillars: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. You are already hitting the mark in each of these areas, and it is for this reason that you are sitting before us today. That being said, there's nothing more important than the hard work you will do now and you will continue to do throughout your lives. As you continue your life as students and into the future as workers and participants in the citizenship and community of the United States and the world beyond, commit yourself to these 4 pillars once again. I challenge you to make those choices with the 4 pillars of your society in mind. In short, make good decisions that show respect for yourself and your community. Congratulations and welcome new members. Thank you, parents, for all of your support. Yeah, just.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Third, Mr. Dudgeon. Membership in the Pedro Vista High School chapter of National Honor Society has been earned by effective demonstration of the 4 qualities held in high esteem by the society. It is at this time that we proclaim to all in the audience and membership in the Pedro Vista High School chapter of the National Honor Society that has been earned by these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as standards for our society. Our officers will review these qualities with our candidates. The first quality is character.
The first pillar of honor society is character. Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each of us our individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character that guides one through life and when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, striving daily to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others by demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship. We may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Scholarship.
The second pillar of honor society is scholarship. Scholarship means a commitment to lifelong learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the highest success, and it can only be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Next, we have leadership.
Leadership is the third pillar of honor society. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school and the community. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, a true leader strives to aid others to attain a common objective and to help those who need guidance. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a strong and wise leader. Leadership is always needed, thus to lead is an important charge to each of our members.
And last, we have service.
The final and most important pillar of honor society is service.
Service can be described as the willingness to give freely of oneself to help those in need. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of others without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. This type of community involvement is of great benefit to the person doing service and those being served. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
All right, inductees, as each new member is called, you will receive your certificate of membership and you will light your candle from the candle of your choice. So. NHS advisor.
Yep. Or names, which we will hand out the certificates. They can just pick one. I hand them to you. Inductees, as your name is called, please step up, take your induction form from Mr. Third, grab a candle from our basket, and please light your candle. When you return to your seat, please remain standing until we complete the National Honor Society pledge. Our first inductee is Kelsey Brown. Taylor R. Burns. Ian Chavez. Prue Kundick. Joanna K. Freeman. Sydney Graff. Jonathan Hunter. Alexander R. Hutton. Meredith Johnson was not able to join us this evening, but she will be inducted. Haley Leslie. Alyssa Massey. Claire McDaniel. Teresa Sanborn. Annie Yost. Lauren Anderson. Braylon Edwards. Hannah Freeman.
Congratulations.
And Amber Hagelbarger.
Congratulations.
Thank you all for joining us. The president will now have you repeat the pledge.
NHS inductees and members will now repeat the National Honor Society pledge. I pledge to maintain high scholastic standing,
I pledge to maintain high scholastic standing,
to endeavor intelligently and courageously to be a leader,
to endeavor intelligently and courageously to be a leader,
to give of myself freely in service to others,
to give of myself freely in service to others,
and to hold as fundamental and worthy
to hold as fundamental and worthy
and untarnished character
and untarnished character
In doing so, I shall prove myself worthy
In doing so, I shall make myself worthy
of a place in the National Honor Society.
of a place in the National Honor Society.
Please blow out your candles and be seated. Thank you, members, new and old, for taking and renewing our National Honor Society pledge. Welcome, new members. This concludes our induction ceremony. We would like for all new members to meet us up at the front to sign the register and take a group photo. We would also like to invite our guests to enjoy cake and refreshments before you head home. Thank you for coming.
Kenzie. Will you get a group picture of everybody? Like it's not.
Yeah, I get it. When it comes to treasure, you don't want to miss.
You're signing it once. It's okay, go look at it.
I like, yeah.
That's